Hey, welcome to the 412 podcast. On this episode, we have Kara Dawson, who is our connections director and also leads our girls ministry. She is a bit of an expert on social media and youth, specifically girls and social media and how it affects them and things that parents should be looking out for, some good questions to ask, some good resources to read. And so we've invited Kara on the podcast to just ask her questions to mostly help parents. But I would encourage you as you watch this episode, maybe to invite your youth with you to watch this. And hopefully this is beneficial and it's sanctifying and it will lead us to better disciple our kids in Christ in their formative years. I hope you enjoy it. Hey, Kara.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good.
Good to have you on the podcast.
I'm excited to be here.
First time.
First time.
Probably first of many.
Hopefully.
Yes. So we want to glean from your, honestly, expertise in this. I don't know if a lot of our people know. I know a lot of our student parents know, but I don't think other people know that you have for a couple of years now been studying very intently on the subject of youth and social media.
Yeah.
Specifically girls, but youth also.
Yes.
And so you've written a very in-depth curriculum that you've taken how many girls through now?
8, I think.
My daughter being one of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ella was my second to go through it.
And then you keep adding to it.
Yes.
Right? And so it's starting to look more like a book.
It's getting there.
Some would ask, I'm not. But some would ask, are you writing a book on the subject? But I'm not asking.
Of course not.
But we'll see what happens.
I would love to. It would be awesome.
Okay. So Kara Dawson, for you guys that don't know Kara, she helps out with our student ministry and she leads our connection team. And she's she cares very much about the girls in our church being discipled in the Lord and being safe. And one of the things that is bringing so much danger these days is the presence of social media and what it's telling them about who they are.
Absolutely. And
the world that's presenting to them that isn't really the world, right? And so Kara's taken a lot of time to study this, and so we want to glean from Kara's study and your hard work, Kara. And so first, what I'm going to do is this: I have a bunch of questions I'm going to ask you. Okay. And so you're the expert. I'm just going to be your interviewer today.
Love that.
But first, I'm going to share some stats that I found that I assume are correct, but I want you to tell me if they're correct, so that we can have like a baseline. Okay. Because there could be some people that are thinking to themselves, well, I don't let my 11-year-old have social media. I'm assuming that most parents don't do that or whatever, right? So I just want to share a couple stats, okay? 95% of youth ages 13 through 17 use social media.
Sounds right.
95%. 2/3 of them use it every day.
Yes.
And they average, youth, 13 to 17 years old, they average 3.5 hours of screen time every day. And half of them are over 4 hours a day of screen time.
Yeah, and I would say those numbers are low.
Really? Those are conservative?
Yes.
Okay. So all that to say, this is a subject we should talk about.
Absolutely.
This is like a big deal, right? Okay, so questions for you. And I will get out of the way and we will glean from you. What do you think is the biggest cost of using social media?
I think when we think about people in general, teenagers, adults, girls, boys, everyone, the biggest cost is time and attention. So think about like the big chunks of time that you spend on social media and your smartphone in general, but let's specifically social media. You go to check Instagram, 2 hours later, you're still doom scrolling. That costs you not just 2 hours, right? But it costs you everything else you could have done with that 2 hours. That's the opportunity cost of time. Of like, oh, you could have been sleeping. You could have been hanging out with your family. You could have been working on your homework or whatever you needed to do. And that costs you a lot of time. But then it also costs you a lot of your attention. So I think a lot of people don't realize just how much having your attention divided really impacts your ability to pay attention. Oh, yeah. Like I remember a couple of years ago, Jeff sent the staff like a 2-minute video on something that he like did for us. And I was like, I'm not watching that. It's too long. And it's because the short form videos of social media is frying our ability to pay attention to things. Sure. Or it's like, hey, I've got a 30-minute task to do. And if I just sat down and did it, it would take me 30 minutes. But it's going to take me 4 hours because every 10 minutes I'm going to give myself a little brain break and check my social media.
100%.
And so we're losing big chunks of time. We're losing little chunks of time And that's costing us so much more than I think we really pay attention to.
And that's adults and students.
Absolutely.
That's everyone.
I pay attention when I'm at stoplights to notice how many cars around me are checking their phones at the stoplight.
Oh, my goodness. I can only imagine.
So many.
And it's almost unheard of for when the light turns green for the person to actually go right when it turns green and not need a honk first.
Yes.
Because they're all looking at their phone.
Absolutely. And we're losing out on like our ability to be bored, to know what to do with our brains when we're just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And the in-between times, the liminal spaces where it's like, oh, I've got 5 minutes to wait before my class starts. I'm waiting for the elevator. I'm waiting at a stoplight.
Mm-hmm.
You're losing out on your chance to daydream,
Mm-hmm.
to think about your day, to pray.
Yep.
Because you have the ability to entertain yourself with something shiny.
100%. And you know what? It actually looks like if I was sitting in the doctor's office waiting in the waiting room and I just sat there, people would think I'm weird.
Yes, they'd be like, what is wrong with this guy?
Is he here for a mental check? Is that why he's here? Because he's not doing anything.
And why is he staring at me? Why is he watching me? Mind your business.
It has changed so much of what is expected.
Yes.
Like if you're by yourself waiting in a public place and your phone isn't up or you're reading something, people are going, what's wrong with them?
Yeah. And so like we're missing out on enjoying the little things of like really like being mindful about, hey, I'm going to enjoy this cup of coffee and I'm not going to be checking my phone while I do it.
Yeah.
But the temptation is so big.
It is. Okay, so specifically, girls. We'll talk about more than just girls today. We'll talk about youth in general, but specifically your research has focused a lot on girls.
Yes.
And so what can you tell us about the biggest harm that social media has on teenage girls?
I think it's twofold. The first is visual comparison. So an age-old anxiety for girls is what they look like, their self-image. They're worried about fitting in. They're worried about being pretty. They're worried about, being comfortable in their body.
Mm-hmm.
Social media just highlights all of those insecurities because now instead of just comparing yourself to the people you go to school with, you're comparing yourself to the entire world and edited versions.
Not even real. It's not even real.
Yeah, it's like, oh, these pictures people are posting, one, it's their absolute perfect angle. They've spent a lot of time, that's the 25th selfie they took that they posted. And it's so edited. And the editing is so good now, you can't even tell. So now your ability to compare yourself to people who are prettier than you, funnier than you, more talented than you, it is just off the charts. And that's just really hard especially for girls who are still trying to figure out who they are and who their identity in Christ and to be comfortable with who God has made them to be, to have the entire world to compare yourself to. This is hard. It's hard on your heart.
100%.
So that's a huge harm to girls. And then the other side of it is I think social media might be the perfect medium for relational aggression. So they say boys are more aggressive than girls in general. But when you include relational aggression, things like isolating people, reputation destruction, exclusion, girls are so aggressive. And social media just lets you be mean at a different level. Like it allows you to have coordinated cancel campaigns against this one particular girl.
Yeah.
It allows you to post things like weaponized posts. So like the idea of like, I'm going to post a picture of me and this friend over there. You're not in it, Ryan. And I want you to notice that you're not in it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tag it as me and my bestie.
Yeah.
So you know you're not.
Yeah.
And it just gives a lot of room to be really mean to one another.
My goodness, that happens so much.
It does. And it's sad and it's hard. And even girls who would be kind, it's easier to be mean online.
Oh, yeah.
It's, when you don't have to look the person in the eye to say something nasty, you can just post, you can just comment on their pictures.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's 100% true. And also, a question for you. When we say social media, can you give our listeners an idea of like what you mean by, like, give specific examples, because maybe you mean more than what they think.
So social media is technically anything that is user-generated content. So your big ones are obviously like Instagram, Facebook. That's what people think about the most. But TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube is technically social media because it's user-generated content. And it allows for like an interface where you're interacting with other people over it, and that's what makes it, that's the social part of the social media.
Yeah, I mean, that I've noticed that YouTube, one of the enormous generators for YouTube these days is what they call their shorts.
Yes.
which is just their version of Reels for
Yes.
Instagram or TikTok.
Yes.
So even YouTube, which you used to think of as like, dude, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, they'll have a 40-minute
Mm-hmm.
episode on there. Now, probably what drives more traffic than anything is just the 30-second Reels,
Yes.
or they call them shorts.
Yeah. And it's all crossover posted to Instagram and TikTok. Like you're seeing things branded up
Yes.
from TikTok on YouTube and on Instagram because every influencer is posting on all three.
And I've noticed actually, because I don't have TikTok, I have Instagram, and I'm old, so I have Facebook. Is that all I have? Oh, I have X too. I have X. So I'm really old. I have X. X
There
is
you
like where
go.
the really old people are. And I've noticed that like on Instagram, if I click on someone's profile who's like some sort of influencer, they will always have included in their profile how many followers on TikTok they have, because they always have more on TikTok.
Yep.
So you'll see followers and it'll say 250,000 followers on Instagram, right? But it'll say on TikTok 1 million followers. They want you to know on TikTok I'm a really big deal.
Yeah.
So don't think I only have 250,000,
Of course not.
which by the way is a ton.
Yes.
It's a lot. I have 1 million on TikTok, right? So it's all intertwined, right? Because you can, on these platforms now, you can essentially post from one post to multiple places.
Yeah.
Like I think it's, is it Meta that owns Facebook and Instagram?
Yes.
And so even me, I do like these reaction videos every now and then on Instagram. I started to recently. And when I do it, it automatically by default posts the reel to Facebook also. And I forget it does that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, look, you have 15 comments on Facebook. I'm like, I haven't posted to Facebook in 10 years. What is Facebook? And I'm like, oh, it posted to Facebook too.
Yeah.
I know that now. So now I can go in and actually check it, uncheck it so it doesn't go there. But yeah, it's all interconnected.
Yeah.
Okay, so dangers are there. Social media is everywhere. We've read some of the stats about how often youth are on it. So, I mean, maybe the most important question, it's not the most important question, but I think for parents, it's the most practical question, which is this. What age do you think is an appropriate age for youth to get on social media?
So probably a very unpopular opinion amongst my students who don't like this, but I think 16. And so Jean Twenge, who wrote 10 Rules for Raising Kids in the High-Tech World, she's also the author of iGen and Generation. She's a big voice in this area.
Yeah.
She recommends 16 as well.
Okay.
And she actually ties it to getting your driver's license so that parents shouldn't give their kids social media until they get their driver's license. Because we as a society have decided that at 16, you are mature enough, responsible enough to handle something as serious as driving a car. And we should take social media that serious because, like driving a car, there are life and death consequences to your choices online. And there are life-altering decisions you can make on social media, just like when you're driving your car.
Yep.
And to tie it to getting your driver's license, that is an incentive to getting your driver's license. Less and less kids are wanting to get their license because so much of their social life is online.
That's right.
So they don't need it. And so to tie those two things together, it gives, multiple benefits. But there's a lot of maturing that happens between 13 and 15, between 13 and 16, and so you grow up a lot.
Yeah.
And then that gives you 2 years at home with mom and dad to start using social media to hopefully figure out how to use it responsibly with the safety net of your parents still there protecting you.
That's right. Our daughter, Ella, who has met with you just met with Ella yesterday.
Yeah,
By the way,
I
I
did.
didn't even know that until she texted me. She goes, did you know I had coffee with Kara this morning? I said, Kara doesn't do it. Kara's office is across the hall from mine. She didn't tell me that, but she just you had coffee with her yesterday.
She's a delight.
Ella's great. Ella is 17.
Mm-hmm.
She's done the curriculum with you.
Yes, yes.
So we let Ella get, as you know, she has Instagram. We let her get that on her 17th birthday. That even was a compromise for Kate and I. Kate and I don't see 100% eye to eye in this.
No.
My thing was very much, Ella will never have social media while living in her house. It just won't happen. So when she goes to college, another year, sure, she'll be 18. She can get it if she wants. I can't keep her from getting it. And Kate's thing was like, what if we had her have it for a year under our supervision? She's in her house. And I was like, yeah, I get it, but I also hate the idea of her even having it.
Yeah.
So we compromised. And she has it now for her senior year of high school. Here's the crazy part. She is the last person out of her entire friend group. She's the last person on the cheer team to have it. And she doesn't have Snapchat. And there's a lot of cheer, even from coaches, communication that Ella doesn't even get because she doesn't have Snapchat. Meaning text messaging, that's so for old people.
Yes.
Email, what's that?
Yeah.
Saying stuff to people in person, what's that? It is, if you don't have Snapchat, you don't find out about important things. And Ella still, because she doesn't have it, and she won't have it. But so it's been an eye opener. So for those at our church with like young kids, to help prepare them, because it's probably not going to get better. It's probably going to get worse, if I could be cynical.
Probably.
Yeah, do you agree? Okay. Just to prepare them, if you kind of hold a line on this, you will be the oddball, and your kid will know that you're the oddball and will feel like the oddball themselves. Yeah?
Yeah, unless you do the work now when your kid is little to start finding families who think the way you do.
Got it.
To talk to your community group, to talk to your friends at church, to talk to your friends at your kid's school, to say, what if we all committed to this? What if we all said, we're going to wait till 16? We're going to not give our kids smartphones until high school. We're going to not let them get social media until they're 16. We're going to have these restrictions in place so that they're not the only ones.
Yeah.
And then they can have each other's back.
Yeah.
And,
cool.
it's easier to do it with a buddy.
It's a great idea.
It's easier to have a team about it, because then, okay, now this group is the odd one. Instead of it just being you, it's your whole friend
It's a
group.
great idea. Almost like joining a cult. Great. Just kidding. I know, it really is a good idea. Our son is at a private Christian school. We did not put him there because of social media. That had nothing to do with it. He just turned 14. One thing we've noticed, even at his private Christian school, he is one of the only kids that he knows there that doesn't have social media. And he feels it. And this is like a Christian, I'm putting this in air quotes, whatever that means, no offense to the school my kid goes to and the families there, but like, what is a Christian school?
Right.
What is it?
Yeah.
It's,
you don't have to be a genuine follower of Christ to go.
No, I mean,
you have Christian values.
Yeah, and you have to be a member at a local church, but that we're in Texas. How hard is that? I mean, like there's non-Christians that go to Christian schools, even if it's a requirement. Okay. We've been surprised at, even in like a kind of a Christian bubble, that we still feel like the oddball because our kid doesn't have any of those things. Yeah. And we hear about it from him all the time. Yeah.
And like, for parents listening, like, your kid really isn't exaggerating. When they say, Mom, I'm the only one who doesn't have Instagram, they actually might be the only one. Yeah. But the thing is, like, we have just kind of accepted that social media is a part of childhood, and we shouldn't. Yeah. Like, we as a culture, especially we as the church, should start fighting back against this, because it shouldn't be required. Yep. It should be 100% optional, and children do not need social media. Like kids for sure, but even young teens, early teens, they don't need it. Yep. It's hard on them. It's bad for their brains. It's, keeps them from sleeping, all the things that they need to grow into successful, competent, independent adults. And so if we can band together to say, let's change this, let's make an effort, because social media is one of those things that even if you don't have it, if your whole friend group does, it impacts you.
You're totally left out of things.
Yeah, you're left out. It's what people are talking about, and your friends are showing you stuff on their phone. Like, it's not like Liam has seen social media because his friends show him. Yes. And we can't really change that unless no one has it.
And we may or may not have caught him having an account that we had to shut down at one time. I'm not saying we did. I'm just saying maybe we did.
It's possible. Kids are smart.
Oh my goodness.
When they want something, they can figure it out.
Did you know, and this is a good piece of advice or heads up for parents. Did you know that if you share an iCloud account and your kids are underneath your account, so you can like monitor their iPhones, right? They can't have these apps, right? Which we do that with our friends, with our kids. If you have ever on your phone downloaded an app, and maybe you don't even have it anymore, there is an end around way for your kid, because they're tied to your account, to download it without asking permission. Yeah. My son, he's gonna hate it. You know what? No one tell him. Don't tell Liam I talked about him on this. He downloaded Snapchat one time on his phone, and it never, the permission ask never came to me. And the reason why is because like 5 years ago, I downloaded it for like a day. I don't think I made an account. And therefore, there was an end around way to do it. It was on his phone. It was hidden. And I'm like, how did you do it? He's like, oh, well, my friend showed me how to do it. I'm like, how? Tell me how you do it. And he's like, well, if you've ever downloaded it, I can technically download it without you knowing.
Yeah, the Apple OS parental limits, it's not great.
It's evil. It's evil. I mean, they're not trying to be evil, but like it's evil how much you can still get away with.
Yeah, I don't know if
Maybe
I want to give them a motive. Yeah,
we're gonna have you on again. We're gonna talk about Apple and evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Is there something to the fact that they're Apple with a bite out of it? Is there something to that? Is there something that they were trying to tell us?
Maybe.
Oh, interesting. Anyways. Okay, question for you. What advice would you give to someone, adult or teen, who wants to spend less time on social media, which describes probably most people listening?
Yes. I don't know anyone who has a smartphone and social media who doesn't want at least a little bit more control over their social media use. And I think oftentimes what we try to do is we try to just say no. Like, okay, I'm going to cut my time. I'm going to set my limits. I'm going to white knuckle, try to get myself out of this cell phone addiction. Mm-hmm. But it's generally not enough to say no. Yeah. And so my advice is to find things to say yes to. Okay. So if you generally go to social media for a brain break, if you generally go to social media for entertainment at the end of the day or to connect with friends, and you want to do less of those things, find real world ways to achieve those same goals. Find real world things to say yes to. So like a lot of times we use social media as I just want to take a break. My brain is tired. I don't want to think. I just want to do something mindless for a little bit. Yeah. Okay, well, what's something in the real world that achieves that same thing? Maybe you like to knit. Maybe you want to do a jigsaw puzzle. Color, go on a walk, ride your bike, shoot hoops in the backyard, find real world things to say yes to replace it with, because it's not enough to just say no. You have to say yes to stuff.
That's great. I have a follow-up question that I just thought of right now because it's something I wonder. So one of the things that I do, if I just want to not think, I'm wondering if it's too close to social media to where it has the same negatives. What about watching a show?
So,
like Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld. You know, I love Seinfeld. You love West Wing. Okay?
I do.
What if, to shut your brain off, you're just like, I'm going to watch West Wing?
TV hits different because it has a natural end. Okay. So think about if you're scrolling Reels, there's no stopping. It's just going to keep going.
There's no end.
Forever.
There's literally no end.
It is an infinite scroll. When they changed it to an infinite scroll, it really upped their using. I bet. Because and so it's easy to get lost in it. Whereas to watch a TV show, if you turn off autoplay, which I definitely recommend, like if you're whatever streaming service you use, turn off the feature that automatically starts playing the next episode.
Yeah, okay.
Because then when your episode of Seinfeld ends,
you can be done.
I can be done. Yeah. I watched a complete story. I got to have fun for the 20, 30 minutes, however long it is, and now it's done. And so it's just TV, movies, other technology, there's different limits to them that make them maybe easier to say, okay, I'm done. Yeah. Easier to stop.
I wonder if there's a component where when you're watching a show, it's not real life.
Yeah.
Whereas social media, though it's not real life, you think it is. And so maybe, especially for teenagers, you're thinking that you're believing that what you're seeing is actually people's real lives, which leads to the comparison game. Whereas when you're watching a show, it's a show, it's made up, it's not real life. I wonder if that has anything to do with it not being as dangerous for your mind as a teenager.
I think there's something there. I mean, it's like the idea that influencers today are so different than the stars of when, you and I were kids. People magazine used to always publish stars. They're just like us. And it's a picture of Jennifer Aniston getting a cup of coffee. And you're like, oh, she really is human. Of course. Because we needed to be reminded that she was a real person. But now influencers are the opposite. We need to be reminded that we don't actually know them.
Gotcha.
The podcasts you listen to, the influencers you follow, it's we spend a lot of time with them, but we don't know them and they don't know us. Yeah. So we're not friends with these people, but it kind of feels like we are because they're sharing so vulnerably. They're so open. Oh, get ready with me while I talk about this epic breakup me and my boyfriend just had. And so it's it feels like this is someone I know. Yeah. No, they're not. Yeah. Because they're also selling you things while they're, oh, get ready with me. This is just me sharing with you, but also buy this product. I love 100%.
It. Oh, do you see my new mug? Do you know where I got this? There's this great company. Yeah,
exactly.
Influencers, social media influencers are the new celebrities.
Yes.
For the younger generation.
Absolutely.
Not really for us, I don't think. I know we're different generations too, but even...
We're not.
Well, we're technically both millennials. I'm the oldest
You
millennial.
are an elder millennial.
I am the oldest
millennial.
And you're on the younger
I'm
side.
a cusper, yeah.
I feel like for us, celebrities for us are still the old school celebrities where they're athletes, movie stars, artists, singers, whatever. But for my son specifically, I'm thinking of my son, celebrities for him, athletes, sure.
Yeah.
But it's not really movies and shows. It really is influencers.
Yeah.
There's this kid. He goes by Baby Grunk. And I hate even using his thing on here because I don't want him to get any more attention. He's Liam's age. He's 14.
Ugh.
He's a football player. And Liam plays against his team in these 7-on-7 tournaments. He has like 600,000 followers on Instagram. And it's all like hype videos. And one of his parents runs the account for him, like ruining the kid's life, I think. And they knowingly lie, and it's almost kind of funny. Yeah. Like they'll like use AI to like make it look like he went like on an Ohio State recruiting trip or whatever, right? And he's only 14. He didn't go on an Ohio State recruiting trip, But when games happen, there are kids from all over the tournament that will walk up to him and ask for him for his autograph. Oh. He literally hasn't done it. He's just a 14-year-old kid that plays football, and yet he's become a celebrity because of his parents posting it on social media. Yeah. He's not a celebrity. But he is.
And when we define celebrity as someone who's well known, who's in the public eye, like they are celebrities. Yeah. And that makes me really sad. It makes me sad for them. Yeah. I look at there's preteen like beauty influencers who are talking about their skincare routine as 10-year-olds. And I'm like, girl, you don't need skincare. Like, you're fine. You're a baby.
You're 10. Your skin's great.
Right? Yeah. And, like, these kids who I'm sure this kid loves football. I hope he loves football.
I'm sure he does.
And I would hope that this isn't ruining his enjoyment of a sport that is good for him, to get to play and be outside with friends and be athletic. But,
I'm sad for him. I feel like his childhood's ruined. And the thing is, he's a good football player. He's not as good as the hype online, but he's a good football player. But the hate that he gets online because it's so overhyped, I end up feeling bad for him because I feel like he probably didn't ask for this. This is probably mom or dad or both.
Yeah. Well, and it's like there's something crazy. Like I think it's like 57% of Gen Z wanted to be an influencer, and it is a crazy number. Crazy. And I'm sure it's higher for Gen Alpha. Yeah. Sure. Or the older half of Gen Alpha, because it's like it seems so fun. Like, all you do is make silly videos with your friends and post them. Mm-hmm. But it's work. It's a lot of work. Yeah. And now your entire life is for your audience. Mm-hmm. You're not everything. You're not doing anything for you. Everything is content. Yep. Nothing is just you living life. Mm-mm. And having an audience changes your personality.
100%. Like going on a family vacation is content creation opportunities. It's not enjoying your family. No. It's we're on the beach, get the camera. Yeah. Hey, come up, stop playing with the sand. Get over here. We got to do something. Yeah. You can't just enjoy. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Oh, it's depressing. We're going to try not to be depressed in this episode. Another question. What's one thing you want teenagers to fully understand before getting on social media?
I think a big thing is that social media is not designed for our good. It is designed to make money.
Yes, good.
So the apps are created to make you come back to it as often as possible and stay on it for as long as possible. The reason it's so hard to have a healthy relationship with social media is it is actually designed to be addictive. Like it is. Yeah. And it is tapping into a lot of like normal, innate human needs and desires. Like the idea of like wanting to be liked. That is just natural to humanity. Of course. So social media has taken that and hijacked it and quantified it and made it so that, okay, to show how well you're liked, post a selfie and then come back and check it every 10 minutes to see how many people have actually literally liked it.
And 10 minutes is probably conservative.
Oh, yeah.
It's usually just update.
Just constant.
Update, yeah, sure.
And then that wildly affects your self-image to say how I feel about myself based off of how many people liked this post. Yep. In the positive and the negative. It can really like create in you a false sense of validation because people online like you. Yep. But what about your real life? And so it's just when you're trying to create balance in your life on social media, you are fighting against billion-dollar companies who are using every tool available to them to keep you on their product as long as possible. Yeah. And honestly, when something is free, Instagram is free to use, TikTok is free to use, and it's because you're the product.
Yeah.
They're selling your attention. They're selling your time. That's how these companies make money. It's the foundation of the attention economy. And so they have no reason to make their app safer. They have no reason to make their app better for you because what's best for them is for you to be on it constantly.
Yes, 100%.
So they can sell you things. Okay. And sell your data. And
you don't pay them, and yet they make money off you at the same time.
yes,
That's the evil part.
because
right?
you're getting paid with your attention. And like
Right.
you see the internal memos from Meta, and you hear these interviews from Silicon Valley people who've left
Sure.
and have now are like, oh, they knew. They knew from the beginning how bad it was. And they still know, and they're not making any changes because they're making so much money.
Goodness, so much money.
That why would they
Yep.
why would they change?
Yep.
They don't have your best interest in heart. They have their best interest, which is making money
Yep.
off of harming you actively.
The Social Dilemma,
Yeah.
the documentary, I thought helpful
Helpful.
because you have these creators and high ups of these companies who are just telling you, we would never let our kids have it. Even when we worked for the company, we never would have let our kids have it because we were trying to get people addicted.
Yeah. And that I'm not saying you can never have social media. You're on social media.
Yes.
You like it.
Yes.
There are benefits, pros,
Yeah,
right?
There's some, probably.
But there is a big difference between an adult who has their brain fully developed, who has established a real world community, who has their identity solid in the Lord.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between them enjoying 15 minutes on Instagram at the end of the day and a teenager
Oh, so much.
or a kid. Like there are things that we only allow adults to do.
Yep.
Yep.
And
there are places that we only allow adults to be, and social media
That's
should
right.
be one of those things
That's right.
because it's a thing and a place.
Yeah.
And it's just
That's good. No, that's really good. I love that you said it so succinctly. You said social media is not designed for your good. It's designed to make money.
yes.
Such an important distinction because we know that about a lot of things in this life. Do we know it about social media? Do we believe it? So if we're taking our kids through the McDonald's drive-thru, we never would tell our kids, hey, McDonald's is here for your good.
Yeah.
No.
They want you to be happy.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Like they want you to be happy. So they're making food that's good for you and that tastes good, which is neither of those are true. But you don't think that. You think, okay, we got to get food fast. My kid likes it. I guess I'll do it every now and then. I know it's not good for him.
And I know what I'm buying.
You know what you're buying. Social media is like we're deceived. Not that we think it. It's not that we think it's designed for our good. It's just that like we enjoy it so much we don't care.
Yeah. And I think that we forget that time is a currency.
Yeah, my goodness.
That time has incredible value, and that we are paying these tech companies, we're paying these app developers with our time, and that costs us something.
That's right. Time, man. I think I said this in a sermon recently. I think I did. If you put the average lifespan of an American and then you take it into months, it really puts into perspective like how little time we have here. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday about our daughter's a senior next year, so I have 12 months 12 months with my daughter before she leaves and probably never lives in our house again, right?
Yeah.
12 months. My son is going into 8th grade. I have 60 months, 60, and my son is gone and will probably never live with us again.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
It's not a lot.
Time goes fast. So I guess encouragement for the parents is like, you don't have that much time with your kids either. So like, how would you use your time to help train them and mature them in these ways?
Yeah.
Right? Which is kind of what you're doing. It's what your curriculum and maybe book is about in the future, right? A couple more questions for you. How do you keep social media from becoming a problem in the long term?
I think taking breaks is really important.
Okay. Little
So,
sabbaticals from...
I think it should be, you should have a daily rhythm of when you're not on social media.
Okay.
Maybe it's first thing in the morning. Maybe
Yeah.
it's right before bed. Maybe it's both. But just a daily time that you say, I'm not going to use social media in this time. I think having it be a part of a Sabbath practice on
Yeah.
a weekly basis of, hey, I'm going to take this break. But then I also think that having, hey, once a semester, I'm going to take a whole weekend away from it. Once a year, I'm going to take 2 weeks away from it.
Yeah.
And use that time, not just to be like, I'm going to deny myself to show I'm not addicted to it. But no, to use that time to really evaluate, how is this making me feel?
Yeah.
What kind of person is this shaping me into? Is this helping me draw nearer to the Lord, or is this pushing me further from the Lord?
Yeah.
And then just being really honest with yourself about, if it's not helpful, maybe it's time for a longer break.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
good.
this isn't the right season for you to have social media. And I think it's helpful to take those breaks like with your parents, with some friends, with people who love you, so that you can talk about like, is this impacting how I view myself? Is this impacting how I view others?
Yeah.
Is this changing the way I appreciate my family? Is this taking up too much of my time? So taking regular breaks, I think, makes a big difference in letting it overtake your life. Because
Yeah.
then it just gives
Good.
you time to check in with yourself to say, is this a net positive for me or is this becoming a net negative?
That's good. I saw this funny thing on social media the other day. It's like this reel where this guy goes, people say that Diet Coke is addicting, but I've been doing it for 12 years, 4 a day. I'm not addicted yet. Which is hilarious.
Stop anytime.
Right? Which is hilarious. But I think social media, our attitude is very similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not addicted. Well, why are you still doing it?
Yeah.
Like maybe you are addicted.
And could you stop?
Yeah. Could you stop? How hard would it be to stop? I know for a fact right now that I would like to pride myself in not being an influencer, not trying to be an influencer. I'm not on it for hours a day. I guarantee you if right now I said, I am going to not go on any social media for 2 months, it would be very hard. Very hard for me not to do it.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
What
It
does
might mean I'm addicted to it.
Yeah.
Right? How honest can we be? I mean, I don't know. I mean, hopefully honest, right? But it's hard to be honest because you don't like the way it sounds.
Yeah, and you don't want to give up the fun that you have. And I talk in my curriculum and with the girls that I've gone through it, I talk to them a lot about the idea of net positive versus net negative. I'm not saying that social media doesn't have anything fun to it, any aspect of it that is enjoyable.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, is it worth the negatives? Is it worth the potential harms? Is it worth the lost time?
Yeah.
And if it's not, then like, why are you doing it? Like I got off social media, I don't know, maybe a year ago, maybe a little bit more. Completely.
Got it.
Because it got to the point where I took another social media fast as I was writing my curriculum and I was thinking about it. And I kept coming back to this idea of, I don't like how I feel when my timer of my social media goes off and I have to get off of it. It makes me feel gross that I'm like, oh, I don't want to. I don't like the feeling of I can't stop and like, oh, I need this. Or every time I pick up my phone, I'm checking it. And it made me feel out of control. It made me feel like this device that I purchased and pay for has this power over me that I don't want it to have. And so for right now in this season of having 2 young kids, it is not the season for me to have social media. If I could get on and just watch 15 minutes of reels from influencers I like and people that I think are funny and get parenting advice and hear people talk about their spiritual life, if I could do that for 15 minutes, it would be worth it. Yeah. I just can't. I just don't have that kind of self-control right now. And like when TikTok got big, I didn't even attempt to get it because I know myself. I know that I can't handle it. I can't handle that kind of dopamine.
Gotcha.
And so I just didn't even try because I just looked at it and I was like, oh.
Good for you.
That's going to be, it's going to be too much for me.
Yeah. Well, good for you that you got rid of it. How would you describe the way that you feel since going completely away from it? Like what changes have you seen in your attitude, in your time, in the way you feel about yourself, your identity in Christ? Like, is there a tangible difference between when I did it with time constraints to I don't do it at all anymore?
I feel like I have a higher capacity to be bored, to just like, oh, I'm the first one at staff meeting. I'm just going to sit here and start eating my lunch. I don't need to look at my phone. I can just kind of be. Gotcha. Like I feel like it's helped me be more mindful of I'm just going to notice the sounds around me. I'm just going to pay attention to what's, what my food tastes like or, what I'm seeing in front of me. And I feel like that has gotten easier to do.
Good. Yeah.
And I think that it has helped me be more intentional with how I spend my time. Of just, if I want a device-based brain break, I'm going to watch an episode of TV that I enjoy. It's like I have to do that with a lot more intention. Yeah. Because, like, are you familiar with activation energy?
No.
So activation energy is, I think it comes from Atomic Habits, but it's like a chemistry concept. Okay. And it's the idea of how much energy does it take to start a task. Okay. So you getting up, going to your couch, turning on the TV to start an episode of Seinfeld takes like not a ton, but a little bit because you have to get up, you have to find the remote, all the things. Sure. Opening up your phone and checking X takes zero activation.
I can do it all night back.
And it's like there's no effort required to start it. You don't have to think about what episode you're going to watch. You don't have to think about what task you're going to. You don't have to set anything up. It takes no activation energy. Okay. And so having social media, I really feel like lowered my like capacity to have activation energy. Like it lowered my like the amount that I had in my body because it was just so hard to start. Like I love to paint. Painting takes a massive amount of activation energy because I got to get my stuff. I've got to get it set up. I've got to, find all my supplies. I've got to get into my paint clothes. Like there's just a lot of steps it takes before I get to the thing I like.
Sure.
And that's hard to do. And so when you take away the easiest option of social media on your smartphone that you have in your pocket right now, it just kind of helps you grow those muscles of the ability to, hey, something takes a little bit more effort, but I know it's worth it. And so I'm going to put the effort in. And I feel like I have the capacity to put the effort in.
That's good. Okay. Well, last question. What do you, resources, books, podcasts, for people who are on social media, maybe even accounts that will help them see some of this stuff? Maybe that's not you. You don't want to recommend that. But what do you recommend? Resources, books?
So John Haidt's Anxious Generation is the one that started it for me.
Okay.
He writes an excellent Substack called After Babel that you can get online.
After Babel.
Got
it.
He features a lot of really interesting thinkers, and they do like once a week, maybe twice a week, like blog type style posts that are really exciting and interesting. So he's an excellent author and a really interesting. Anxious Generation was wonderful. So that's a big book to read. I mentioned it before, Jean Twangy's 10 Rules for Raising Kids in a High-Tech World, I think is really helpful for parents, really parents of any like life stage, whether you have preschoolers or high schoolers. She's got a lot of practical advice. That one's really high-level practical of here's just some basic fundamental rules that you can enjoy. And then the most recent one I read that I really loved is called The Tech Exit by Claire Morrell.
Okay.
And she is a advocate for like no smartphones, no video games, no social media for all of childhood.
Wow.
And she walks you through her reasoning for it.
Yeah.
A lot of what I said in this is from her book.
Okay.
And I'm very grateful for her as a resource.
Okay.
And she talks about finding families who will do this with you and setting clear expectations for your kids. And so those 4 books are really really helpful, I think. And then there's a lot of there's so much about childhood independence, which is like similar to the anti-technology side of like parent advocacy.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of books in there. Lenore Skenazy is another great author. Catherine Martinko is another one. She writes a Substack that I follow called The Analog Family. And I really enjoy her writing style because she's got, I think, 3 teenagers in her house still. And like, they didn't have a TV in their home until her boys were like in high school.
Wow.
And so she's got a really intense view of it, but a lot of interesting advice and practical ideas about how to live a lower tech lifestyle.
That's great. Thank you, Kara. Thank you for all the work you've done. And even more than just the work you've done, thank you for how you have chosen to use this to disciple our students. It's like, honestly, the project that you've been working on for a long time is one of the most exciting pieces of discipleship resource that we have. And it's so in depth and it's so practically, immediately applicable and relevant to our student ministry. So I'm so excited for what you're doing and what you can continue to do. If you're at Restoration Church and you have questions about your kids and social media, I mean, can I volunteer you? Can I volunteer you? Kara would love to answer your questions if you would just reach out to her. And yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast, Kara, and thanks for all you do.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. It was really fun to get to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks.